As my concern is what kind of lecture I am delivering today. It is solely related to the admin section. So, is there anyone from admin section? It is better to understand it. Okay. So, the topic as it states certification and statutory document required for NABH. This is the first thing I would say when the assessment starts. This is the first initiation that assessor take to check the documents. What documents we are lacking, what documents we are having, and what documents we have uploaded to the NABH portal. So I will explain one by one. In case you want to ask about the procedure of any specific document, please let me know. I will explain it. Okay? First document required is NOC of state government, which can be taken from the state government secretariat, and it can be actually the NABH process starts from the establishment of a healthcare facility. When we construct a healthcare facility, the whole process starts from there. If we are already running it, then we can obtain this certification from the respective authority, and there is a specific procedure for all of them. First one is acknowledgement from clinical establishment. As the Bihar state government has cleared the law regarding the clinical establishment in 2016, this is the document and it is issued by the secretary, health secretary. And next is the land allotment with all four directions mentioned. As this document it is the land document. It mentions the place where the hospital is located and all the direction east, west, north, and south. Actually, it is the main document which clarifies that where your institute is located and how kind of that premises is. Next is hospital ownership certificate, as it is given by the council or whoever is your governing bodies. It will provide you this certificate, and it looks like that as a council is Central Council for Research in Unani Medicine. They will provide that this is the name of your institute, and this is the place where your institute is located, and now you are free to start the hospital and serve people. This is the certificate from our institute, which is communicated to all the authorities that we have initiated the hospital and now we are working. This is the construction project report, as it is highly required for many certificate we are requiring regarding pollution certificate, regarding the hospital registration to the civil surgeon office. This is the main document which is required at every point of time, as it also contains which agencies constructing the hospital, what is the site map of that institution. Actually, the site map refers to all these things. What are the safety measures we are taking? Is the building constructed with all the precautions and all the safety measures for the patients also? And the next site map. Site map, as you can see, this is the site map, and next is the blueprints of the building. This is required when assessors ask for the blueprints of the building. Actually, it is a public place, right? Hospital is a public place. There is nothing to be hidden. Where the particular section is, everyone should know. So the site map and blueprints of the building should be placed at the entry point of hospital. These are the blueprint. Don't get confused with the site map. Site map actually created by that agency, that which section has been created at which particular place, and the blueprint defines that right now which section is allocated to a particular place. Like this place belongs to library, this place belongs to laboratory, this place belongs to regional section. This should be predefined. One more thing which is important. a fire exit layout should also be prepared by the, I will explain it later, that there's a safety officer we need to nominate, that a particular person who is a safety officer, then he will make sure that fire exit layout is created and displayed at the every floor, every point where it is needed. Because if in case of any kind of fire emergency, person will who is new in that building, how will he get to know that where is the fire exit? And one more thing, fire assembly point should also be nominated at the hospital premises, that this is the fire assembly point, which should be near to the exit area, and it should be safe from fire. Next is the building completion certificate, which is provided by the authority who have done the construction work, and this is how it look like. This is the completion certificate. They have certified that this building has been completed. And in case of any maintenance work left, they note it clearly. And we cannot take over until the whole work is complete. And this is the taken over, handed over charge. And next is the fire safety NOC. This is very important because without it, no certificate, no further certificate we can obtain. Actually, it is main because it is concerned with the safety of patient. As what the NABH stands for, NABH totally stands for the safety of patient and the quality of care we are giving. So this fire safety NOC is very important, as it is solely depending all the safety parameters of our institute. And if this is given by the fire office of the concerned state or district authority. If we cannot obtain that fire NOC, actually this laws varies from state to state. In many states, the fire NOC is given, and in many states, fire NOC is not given. They give you a fire audit certificate. They have visited your site and they have checked that all the fire equipment you are using are well brushed and everything is fine. Then they will provide you that fire audit certificate, and it will be solely enough. In case you can't obtain that fire safety certificate, fire NOC or fire audit certificate, then you can go for and opt for third party fire audit. This is done by private agencies, and they can provide you a third party fire audit, and so that you can initiate the process further without delaying it. Next is local body registration of hospital, which is also can be done at first point of time at state Ayush department or society, and next is at registration of clinical establishment at civil surgeon or CMO office. And in case of any doubt how to obtain it, I think we have already obtained it, right? In case of any doubt, I will explain that how to obtain it. This is the certificate of that society I was discussing, the state Ayush department or the society, as we are the part of peripheral institute or CCRO. So this is our society and we are registered in it. Next is registration of clinical establishment at civil surgeon office. This is how that certificate looks like. This is also necessary and a very pivotal role of this certificate, as this is required at every point of time. Next certificate is pollution control certificate, and this is actually obtained in two steps. The first certificate we will obtain from Bihar State Pollution Control Board, that is called CTE, consent to establish. This is obtained at when we are constructing a hospital. So it is based on the consent to establish. Whenever we are establishing a hospital, there are some chances of creating a air pollution, water pollution, and they will make sure that you are doing it within a guidelines provided by Bihar State Pollution Control Board. So they ask that what kind of institution you are having. Are you having a industry or you are having a healthcare establishment? So we are under the healthcare establishment. They will ask for these small things. What are the number of beds? A number of beds should be verified or certified by the governing body or the authority, that how many beds are there, and all these things are linked with this. If you are having a number of beds, suppose 100 number of beds, then this 100 number of beds should be specified at each and every document. If a particular document shows that there are 95% beds, and another document shows there are 100 beds. There's a chance of getting an NC in every step of getting accreditation. Next is the land document. As I showed you already in my first slide, that what are the land documents. These are needed at while we are going for registering at consent to establish certificate. Next is the project report, which I show you in that site map layout. That was the project report, and completion report was also there, which was mentioning the takeover and handover of the building. And next is the fees according to the capital investment. This is very important. Actually, as much your capital investment is, the fees will be vary accordingly. If your capital investment is 1 crore, 2 crore, 5 crore, 10 crore, the CTE fees will increase accordingly as per that capital investment. And this is how that CTE certificate looks like. First of all, this is the first step to get that CTE certificate. After that, they will give you those guidelines mentioning in these points. These points will be fulfilled before getting that. Another step, whichever I will explain later, CTO certificate. This is CTE certificate, consent to establish, and next is the CTO certificate, consent to operate. And before operating it, you need to fulfill these guidelines. And regarding this, next, as a point is CTO and how to obtain it. These are the document we are needing for getting a CTO certificate. First one is CT already. Next one is CT compliance. As I told you, these guidelines you need to fulfill. This should be fully compliant. Then they will go for that CTO registration. And next is the undertaking from the head of the institute. And the head of the institute will declare that we will not go against the Bihar State Pollution Control Board guidelines, and we will operate accordingly to that guideline. This is the compliance report, which I told you that they will ask the city compliance. This is the report. These are the point, and we have shown that we have complied. Then they will further initiate our process for CTO. This is the CTO certificate for air emission, and this is generally valid for 3 year, 5 year, depending on that their guidelines of pollution control board. And they actually mentioned the conditions here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 14. These conditions should also be fulfilled as they ask for all these things, timely reporting of that waste you are generating, timely reporting to the air emission you are having, timely reporting to the water harvesting you are doing. Next certificate is related to that same CTO certificate, which is of consent of water, and this is solely related to the water emission. And for this certificate, we need CT certificate and ETP also. ETP is effusion treatment plant, which is used for water harvesting. We used to clean that water we are wasting. Generally, that complete water cannot be wasted, and it should be cleaned, recycled for reuse. So this is highly required at a point of CDO registration, because without it they won't initiate the process. So this certificate installation report is always required while applying for the CDO. And this is also solely a lengthy process to install it, and then there should be an in charge nominated for it also, because we have installed the UTP but we are not harvesting the water, we are not recycling it again. Then what is the main role of it? They will ask for that register for it also, that how much water you have recycled. Next is the pollution control board CTO. Before obtaining CTO, we have to obtain the consent of biomedical waste also. And before getting that biomedical waste consent, we need these documents again: CT registration, BMW annual report. This is required. This is highly required. When you are applying it for fresh registration, that won't be required, because you have just established your healthcare organization. And after establishing it, after 1 year of getting CT or 1 year of operating, continuously operating that hospital, it will be needed that biomedical waste annual report is there or not. This annual report will reflect that how much waste you are generating and who is responsible for that disposal of that waste. Suppose this certificate is provided for each and every category. how much waste you are generating in yellow, blue, black, white, how much waste you are generating in particular category in kg. And they will ask in that biomedical waste annual report, there is a form 4 name for it, and this will be filled annually and it will be submitted in July month of every year. That we have generated this much of waste, and that if right now we can only collect that biomedical waste and segregate it, and we can collect it at a particular collection point, but we cannot dispose it. Right now, we don't have any disposing facility in our premises, or actually disposal facility should be far from a populated area. So these things can be done by a private agencies or government agency. Right now, as I am known for it, IGIMS is doing it, named with Sangam Medi Services. They are providing this facility, and we can sign a MOU with them, and they will take care of the next process of disposal. Next is the disposal report and bill. They will also ask for the disposal report, that how much waste you have disposed of, and where is the bill for all these things. As I mentioned clearly, if you are getting a BMW certificate for and bill for 95 beds and you are actually having 100 beds, then this should be cleared at initial stage, because it will create chaos after the process starts. Next is the activities and quantity for the different waste categories. That I already mentioned, that we are getting certificate for a different quantity in each of the bin category. That's all this certificate is. Next is a water and swab testing report. This is also highly required because it will tell about the safety hazards at the premises or in hospital can create. So this you can see that this is not a report. This is just a report of collection of different samples. That first sample from where we have collected that sample, second, third, fourth, fifth, and this water sample should be collected from each and every section where water can be used. This is the water testing report. This is, you can see, this can be obtained from your own lab and also from the external lab. अगर आपके यहाँ फैसिलिटी है तो आप अपनी खुद की लैब से ही ये रिपोर्ट निकाल सकते हैं, बना सकते हैं, उसको वेरीफाई कर सकते हैं पैथोलॉजिस्ट से. अगर नहीं भी है तो फिर आप बाहर से किसी भी लैब से करवा सकते हैं. Next is the laboratory services availability. Right now, if we are having pathology lab, biochemistry lab, microbiology lab, then first of all labs should define their scope of services. Then how many tests they are performing right now, and what is the duration of that test, and all the SOP should be prepared for each and every test. If we are doing CBC, then what is the SOP for it? What is the process from taking a sample to providing a report to a patient? What is the complete process? It should be documented in an SOP. And for each of the tests, you should prepare a SOP. And there is another concern that creates a big chaos, that whether we are operating 24/7 or not. If we are not operating 24/7, then where the patient will go? If a patient is admitted in whether we are operating in 24/7, if we are not operating in 24/7, then we need to sign a MOU with an external lab which will provide the services in our absence. Next is same for imaging services. If you are providing it, it's well and good, and if you are not providing it, then we need to sign a MOU with an external agency which will provide the service. Next is calibration certificate, as Dr. Rajesh sir has explained it very clearly, that how will assessor verify that your value is accurate. So that for that you will be needing that calibration certificate, and it's mandatory for all the laboratory equipments as well as for all the biomedical equipment also. Not for only laboratory equipment, it will be needed for thermometer, weighing machine, stethoscope, and for every other biomedical equipment we are having. And one more thing which is very important, if we are using a BP apparatus of mercury based, then we also need to take care of that mercury spillage. A particular mercury spillage kit should be there, and the staff should be trained for it. Next is lift license. Actually, this was not mandatory in Bihar, before last year. So that was not the big concern that time, but right now it is a big concern because on 18th of August 2024, Bihar government has launched its gazette for lift license. If we are having a lift, then we need to get that lift license, and this will be provided by the Electric Inspectorate of concerned district. This is how it look like, a lift license that will clearly indicate that your lift is safe to use. Next is facile license. Right now, each and every hospital is providing food services to a patient, and then this license is also mandatory for getting, as we are providing food to IPD patient, whether we are providing or any other external agency is providing, this license is mandatory. Next is MOU for the services that are not available in the facility. We need to do the or sign the MOU with any other further external agencies, and this should be the format. Like I already explained that why medical waste dispose facility we are not providing, then it should be signed with any external agency. Next, security manpower or any other contextual outsource manpower. This is for security manpower, and this is for ambulance services. We for all the facilities we are not providing, we need to sign a MOU with external agency so that we can make our hospital fully fledged and all the facilities are provided in our facility. Next, what are the other certificates required? The first certificate which is left and is required is HIC budget allocation certificate. As sir has previously told you that how assessor will verify that you are doing and maintaining a good cleaning in the premises. That will be reflected from that budget allocation document. And these are some other documents which are safety compliance report of lift and other equipment available. This is the uh, property tax which we have submitted, and these all are required. Now, there is a important thing. These are the committees that are compulsory to form for the smooth work of NABH. Actually, each and every committee has a specified role, and these committee will work accordingly to the NABH standards, and this that will help. And I think there is a delay, so I cannot explain the work of each and every committee. And please note it, and I will go further. These are some SOPs that need to prepare. As I already told you, pathology test, biochemistry test, other test, regimen and procedure for each and every procedure. Wet cupping के लिए अलग SOP, dry cupping के लिए अलग SOP. And SOP अगर आप एक स्टैंडर्ड मान के चलें कहीं और से, जैसे for example CCRM has also published a SOP that can also be a standard, but we have to make it for our own so that it could reflect our services. Next is the all IPD procedures, all emergency codes, SOP, IEC SOP, pharmacy dispensary SOP, and disaster management SOP. These are the things that will reflect our performance, which can be judged for getting an NABH accreditation. That sir already told you that clinical indicators. These are the indicators, 19 indicators, and all the indicators plays a vital role in determining whether our facility is doing well or not. As you can see clearly, I won't explain each and every one. These indicators can be calculated and documented each and every month, and the compilation can be done for half yearly and annual also. And this will be required at the registration for NABH. Next is the managerial indicators, and managerial indicators are related to the IPD and other facilities. As you can see, these are the managerial indicators that will reflect what are the bed occupancy and other things in our institute that will solely represent the whole data of institute and how our performance is improving. And next is the CAPA report. If any of the indicator found a value beyond the normal range, then we need to do a corrective action and preventive action for it also. And a particular report should be prepared that what kind of corrective action we have taken and what is the preventive action we have taken so that that mistake won't repeat. Next is the checklist and performa. These are some checklist and performa I have written. I cannot again explain it one by one. These are the patient feedback form, employee feedback form, informed consent. The informed consent should clearly indicate that what are the risk and benefit of that particular treatment given. And next is the IP and regional CRF and patient referral performer, absconded case performer, cleaning checklist, audit checklist, high risk medication checklist, essential drug and emergency drug list. Next is other important tasks which we need to do is regular meeting of the committees, as I have already explained that these committees we need to form, and the regular training with documentation also. So this is the minimum requirement. If a committee is formed, then how often we will conduct a meeting and how often we will conduct a training. This is explained here that which committee will conduct a meeting, how many of time in a year. Training is very necessary part of it, as this should be repeated time to time so that each and every staff should be very. The assessor won't ask any question to the specialist, to the practitioners. They will ask the supporting staff about it, because they know a well-trained supporting staff can lead to well-trained officers also. Next is the regular audit documentation. Audit is also very necessary. It should be done. Prescription audit should be done quarterly. Clinical nursing audit should be done quarterly. IPD case sheet should be audited quarterly, and these are the other parameters which should be done. Next, this is how the report can be made. This is how the report can be made for that audit, that how much deficiency you have found and what is the corrective action and preventive action you have taken. This is the format of corrective action and preventive action. And this is also very important, regular facility round. A round should be done in every month, I think. And this is also necessary while we are coming there. ये हमारे लिए भी जरूरी था कि अगर हम पहले राउंड ले लेते तो हम ज्यादा बेटर समझ पाते कि क्या चीज हमें कैसे एक्सप्लेन करनी है. So this is also very important. If you find any kind of problem in that round, you can take a corrective action, preventive action for it also, and it should be documented. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Dr. Mansoor Alam, sir, Unani Medical Officer, GTCH Patna, to present the memento to Dr. Chandmani Yadav, sir. So for the next lecture, we have with us Dr.